So I'm back, and this is the BYD Dolphin. This is Build Your Dreams, a Chinese company. The country's going to get littered with Chinese companies. I'm telling you, they're going to come and really take over. They've already got a few of them coming in, and this is another one to add to the list. Currently, I think there's 3 dealers in the country, 2 in Dublin, 1 in Cork, new one going into Wexford. Galway and Limerick are on the way. They'll have maybe 15 dealerships in total, and rightly so, because this car starts in the 20 grand mark. I mean, that's an incredibly reasonably priced car. Now, small battery, 44.4 or 44.9 kilowatt hour battery. The bigger battery, 60 kilowatt, is a longer range car. Don't necessarily shell out for the longer range car. Sometimes you can just save yourself a bit of money and buy the shorter range one. This one is a 60 kilowatt one. It is not the best looking car I've ever seen in the world, but you're not buying this because you want something that is going to be outstandingly pretty and handsome to look at. There's a waiting list for this car because its price, performance, and BYD is a manufacturer of batteries. They don't have to wait for supply chain. They build their blade battery, no cobalt, they build that out, they put it in their own cars, and they sell it elsewhere. 1 in 5 mobile phones in the world have a BYD battery. 1 in 3 Android devices have a BYD battery. They know what they're doing with batteries. Tell you what, let's have a little look around. Before I knew though, charge ports on one side only, and this CCS on this side. You will have to park it in a weird way at certain charge points. And here there is a near field communication in this mirror that allows you access with a card. So you can get into the car. You have a card out, maybe your kids or yourself or your key, but you've got keys and an app and a card, very like the Tesla setup. Let's have a little look on the inside of this one, see what it's like. Build Your Dreams is now behind glass on this one as well, with a full taillight that extends the whole width of the car. It's actually quite appealing on the back. The boot lid handle is under here, and it's got a 375 litre something boot, a little over 1,000 litre if you drop the seats down. You see myself and Mark Noble's bags are in the back of this already, filling up the boot. Not much more space now, but 345 is actually pretty good for a small family hatchback. That's very important to remember. This is an SUV, it's meant to be a small family runabout, and it is priced accordingly. It's priced cheaper than all of the competition. They're talking about beating this thing. Even the MG4 is priced more expensive than this. Let's have a look at the back seat. And yes, a small family hatchback it actually is, but there is room back here for me to relax. I'm not betting to see. I can spread out a bit, make it more available. You got 2 USB-C ports back here as well, and a nice center armrest. I mean, it doesn't feel like a Chinese car, to be honest with you. Also, the door handles are meant to look like a fin. I'm not sure whose fin that's meant to be, but it looks like a fin or a tongue or something of a whale maybe, I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at the electronics you get in the front. So, front seat, nice thud out of the door. This is started. You have a tall touchscreen here in the middle, but in actual fact you can have a wide touchscreen here in the middle as well, whichever one you want. I'm not sure the rationale behind making it wide or tall. I think it's just a personal choice. Maybe it's just a trick they're trying to pull as well, trying to get you talking about something. But it's an interesting way of viewing stuff. Everything resorts itself to be vertical or horizontal depending on what's happening. You see the page flips, just like any Android device or iPads or anything. You have physical buttons here in the middle as well, very important. Physical buttons have muscle memory, so when you're driving you can touch a screen or touch a button here very quickly and turn everything onto auto and make it simple for yourself. Volume control is here as well, and also your drive, reverse, neutral, and drive is all here physical. Little tiny screen at the top here tells you a lot of information, a lot of numbers and things on it, but realistically there's a lot of safety stuff going on too. This starts to warn you when you're over the speed limit. This is all EU regulations, by the way. This isn't because the Chinese company wants it. Also, you have 2 USB-C ports down here. There seems to be an SD card slot down here as well. I'm assuming it's for sat-nav maybe. And back here, there's a thing that looks a bit like a lipstick, but it isn't. It's actually a seatbelt cutter, and on this side, a window breaker, which is just a safety device. You can buy stuff like this on Amazon for a couple of euro. It's worth having in your pocket, but it comes supplied. For the first time ever, I've never seen it in a production car before. That is already in the car before you get here. Let's go for a little spin on the road and see what it's like to drive. I love the gear stick, which is quite cool. Just D, go, and park is on the side of it. It's very clever, a very simple layout. Very easy to use, which is very important for a Chinese brand, because If it's very complicated, no one will want to buy it. Simple as that. And I think the EV market is starting to settle into less of the lunacy of people going, you can only buy an EV, to now people just making a decision as to what they want to buy and the car to suit their needs. I think this will tick a certain amount of boxes in the EV market, because while there's a position for, let's say, the Kia EV9, which is a massive car with a 100 kilowatt hour battery, there's also a position for a smaller car with a 44 or a 60 hour battery, and this is it. Small 5-door hatchback that a family can buy, use, run on a daily basis, low running costs, maybe a solar panel system with a battery outside as well would be really handy. It costs about 10 grand now, but it's still worth an investment. You see it back in 3, 4, 5 years. So I think there's a maneuver happening in the energy market, and this is part of that energy market, and it's good value. What's it actually like to drive though? Well, it's got a very straight up seating position, so you're quite erect in it. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's a nice position to be sitting in, because you can see right down over the bonnet, and the bonnet drop off is very fast, so I can't see the front of the car at all. This big screen in the middle means plenty of access to all the stuff, but I have the physical buttons down here for everything else. Now there is some features on modern cars, EVs, not just EVs, anything built in Europe, that will tell you if you're over the speed limit. It'll start beeping and bonging if there's any problems. Now we've turned off a lot of that to not interfere with the audio in the car, but there is beeps and bongs you can turn off. A lot of them will come back on when you get into the car again. Now you'll get used to it, or you won't. There's a beep, and I don't know what that was about. There's always a beeper and bong on the modern cars, but it actually sits quite nice on the road. It's not too bouncy. It doesn't feel very heavy, like a lot of cars do. And there is actually modes in it as well. To press this up and down to do the mode. So you can go to normal, eco, or sport. The sport gives you 250 something horsepower, which is quite good for a car of its size. And I quite like driving around that sport mode. But you can save a bit of fuel by putting it back in the eco. That sucks away some of the power and makes the car more stable. It's actually quite a nice place to be. I don't really have any complaints here. I don't know why anyone would complain. But you can check out Mark Noble's account. I'm sure he's complaining about something. So, can you build your dreams with this car, the Dolphin? There's forthcoming cars. This is the second car they've launched in Ireland. There's a third one coming later on in 2024. And I'm assuming they're going to have a huge range of cars over the coming years. This, I think, really presents good value for the Irish market. Now, it's hard to say what good value is, because even at the kind of mid-20 range, that is the price of a 5-door hatchback from 2005. Like, it hasn't moved on very much, but it is fully electric. It is on your driveway for those sort of prices, and that is good value versus the competition. Plenty of kit, plenty of stuff inside. I'm actually quite impressed by this car. I would even consider buying the 44 kilowatt one and just having that there every day for the transport car. Not massively exciting, not massively exciting to look at, but I think they're going in the right direction. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've hit the subscribe button, and until the next time, I'll see you on the far side.